YouTube, welcome back again. This is the Red Mist NFC Ninja, and this is the preview. Liverpool versus West Ham. I don't even know if this game is being showed. It's Sunday. I think it's a 2 p.m. kickoff, 2:30, something like that. This is gonna be one hell of a match at Anfield. I'm looking forward to it. I am mad looking forward to it. This is going to be the real test. Guys, I think this is going to be the one where we actually have our full strength team out for the first time this season. I think pretty much. I think the game where we played Newcastle was potentially our full strength side, but red card. Van Dijk got red card. Did Kanate play that game, or was it Matip and I honestly don't know. I'd have to go back and recap and look at the teams. But I something tells me I feel like this is the strongest team we've been able to put out this season. But probably depends on whether Trent makes it as well. But I've got a little bit of a surprise there. So, first of all, we're going to do it a bit backwards this time. First of all, we're going to start with the players that aren't involved in the starting lineup, barring potential players who were dropped from the subs bench. So, without further ado, let's get rid of our badges and our match preview heading. Right, first of all, we're going to scroll down and we are going to start with Klopp's sub. So, Kelleher, Nunez, Matip, Jota, Gomez, Elliott, Curtis Jones, Tsimikas. And by this you can kind of see who is probably going to start and who isn't going to start. I mean, yeah, by all means, you can try and work it out, or you can just watch and listen. Injury list. Gravenberch, Thiago, Trent. I've had no updates. I've heard no news on these guys. Gravenberch could well be fit. We will mix up this starting lineup as well in case he is fit. So we'll do like a few versions with him included if he is fit, rather than just excluding him and not knowing whether he is fit or unfit. I'll do the same with, I think I'll do the same with all three of them, with Thiago and Trent, because, you know, I'm doing this pretty early. I've not heard the news from after last. Somebody could have had an injury. I know Gravenberch went off after an awkward, a bit of a weird kind of fall. Maybe it was precaution. He did walk off, so that's good. It wasn't a stretcher thing. Trent, don't know when he was due back. I reckon he should probably be fit for the next game. And Thiago, we never know. He's supposed to be fit 3 games ago and he's still not fit. So I will juggle those in and around the starting lineup in case they do make the bench or they do make the starting lineup. Who knows? And then obviously we have a new icon here. It's well, no, that one's it's called it's an angry bird. Right, it's a red angry bird, and that just means it's going to be for players who are dropped from the squad bench or kicked out of the first 11, or first 16 rather. And we're going to call them an angry bird. And then under the angry bird, this may change, but currently sits Kwanzaa, Doak. Yeah, Kwanzaa and Doak. So let's just move those to there. Where's Kwanzaa gone? Where's Kwanzaa gone? He's gone missing. I can't find him. Is he here somewhere? Yeah, there he is. He's hiding. You hiding. You trying to sneak onto the bench, buddy. Trying to sneak onto the bench. But these things, these, it might change anyway. So this isn't like nailed on at the moment. So let's just put these back roughly. Right. So let's now move on to the starting lineup. So obviously we have Alisson in goal, Robertson, VVD, Kanate, Bajetic. How about that one, guys? You didn't expect that one, did you? But I'm calling it right now. Bajetic at right back. McAllister, Endo, Szoboszlai, Diaz, Gakpo, and Salah, as you were. Now, I have made some adjustments and some changes, only because I feel like they're warranted. Now, Bajetic, it makes sense, right? Maybe Trent isn't fully fit. And so Klopp needs to think of who's going to fill that right back role that can, play the way Trent plays when he floats into the middle. We tried it with Gomez the game before, the game against, who was it he played there against, and he wasn't really working. It was before Lask. Anyway, Aston Villa? No, he was after Aston Villa. Can't think. But Bajetic, and then Bajetic playing there against Lask yesterday was kind of makes me think, you know what, is he going to play there against West Ham at home? Is he going to play there? It could be a thing. He could well play there. He could play there. So I'm calling it. I'm going to say Bajetic. If Trent isn't fit, I'm going to say Bajetic plays there. I'm calling it now. Obviously Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Alisson. Strongest back four. Now, Endo should, in my opinion, play there now, especially as you have your strongest back four in the side and goalkeeper. This is what I was saying in the last video when we played Lask. He didn't really have an opportunity to play his real way and really play to his strengths and have a full team behind him. You don't really see the best of him. In order to see the best of a player, I feel like you need to have a full strength side behind you. So then there's no excuses, because they're all playing to their levels and the levels that they can play to. So the team cannot possibly be any better than your first teamers, right? In their rightful positions. So if you don't play ball, if you don't turn up and you don't make a statement or you don't look good with the full strength behind you, where do you go from there? You can pull out excuses when, this centre back's missing or that right back and that centre back's missing or the whole back line is a brand new, somewhat untried defensive line. And you be like, you know what, well, he doesn't play. He's not a first teamer. Like, I need to play with players that I need to play with the first team, the back line. And then I can really, get my game going. But if they're not first teamers and they're not good enough, like if they're not good enough to play balls into me and know what they're doing, and I'm calling from the ball, I'm not getting it because this centre back ain't up to scratch. He's not giving me the pass, boss. He's not giving me the pass. The right back ain't looking up. He's not opening his eyes and seeing me inside. Like, play the ball inside so I can collect it, turn and look to spread the play. If you don't get that off your back line, then you as a midfielder are going to suffer. So he's got no excuses now playing with the back line. And I'll be honest with you, when he played with the back line in the games where he was at 10 men, right, he looked good. Endo looked on point. He was fluid in there. Yesterday he played with like a 50-50 of 50% of the back line, and he just looked kind of meh. Like, he didn't have a good game. But again, he wasn't even playing in the DM role. He's playing in the McAllister role to the left of the three. So again, it's like, if you want the guy to play to his optimal strength, then play him in the position where he's favoured with the team that, with the strongest back line, Who plays there otherwise? I mean, if Gravenberch isn't injured, maybe Gravenberch starts there. If Thiago isn't injured, maybe Thiago starts there. Does Gravenberch start there against West Ham? I don't think he does. I think Klopp plays safe again. And you know what I mean by safe, don't you? I think he goes for McAllister in there. I think he goes for McAllister in there. And then I think Curtis Jones comes in on the left. That's what I think Klopp goes with. I think he goes with Gakpo up top, and I think he goes with Diaz and Salah. Is that our strongest team? McAllister had an absolute mare in the game before Lask. He had an absolute mare. I can't remember who we played now. Really can't remember. Wolves, that's it. Wolves. Yeah, he had an absolute mare against Wolves, and West Ham are going to be better than Wolves. And even against Newcastle, he was like, I think Wolves might have been because of the whole international week. Benefit of a doubt. So if that is the reason, and apparently he was on an oxygen machine like a little while after returning and stuff, then he should be all good now. He came on briefly against Lask and he looks okay, looked good. So I imagine he'll be back in that holding role. So I think that would be the midfield. And again, I think it's just, I honestly think it's just Klopp playing loyal to Jones. I think he's just playing loyal to Jones. Jones has been there a while. Klopp does like him. He rates him very highly. And I think at the moment he's staying loyal to him, but Jones has to put on the performances to keep him in the team. At the moment he's performing better than our new signings. Klopp wanted Endo, but he's not really shown his hand with Endo. He doesn't seem that confident in Endo as when he first signed Endo and what he was saying about him. So, but again, Jones has been there longer than Endo, and Endo, just because he's a new signing doesn't mean that he automatically comes in for Jones. No, you got to prove your worth. Just because we sign you, yes, we want you and we value you, we think you're a good player, but it doesn't mean you're just going to walk into the side. It's competitive out here, So, Endo has to show his worth, prove his cards, right? So I do think that that's going to be the starting lineup for us. I would rather see Endo in there. I'd rather see Endo in there, and in McAllister and Szoboszlai next to him, and then see how we go with that. If the first 15-20 minutes we're not doing what we need to do, then maybe we change it up. McAllister drops in, and then we bring on, Curtis. But the thing is about it is you waste a substitution when you do that as well. You waste substitution and you've already let, 15-20 minutes of the game run past you because you're trying something out. Klopp just wants to put the players down on the pitch, and he wants to know that they're going to do bits and that they're going to perform. He doesn't want to have to make changes in the first half, ideally, and he wants to, probably be winning the game by the second quarter. By the second quarter, what am I talking about here? By the second half, So, yeah, it's a tricky one. I mean, if Gravenberch is fit, does he go with Gravenberch in there? Very interesting. Interesting. The other option is if Gravenberch is injured, what he could do is he could play McAllister in a 6, and I guess he could drop Gakpo down here, and then he could also fling Jota up central or play Nunes. Could also do that, which he done earlier on in the season. But I think heart of hearts, he wants to keep Gakpo. Really wants to keep Gakpo in here. I actually don't think it's as bad an idea to play Gakpo in this game. Have a real physical middle, somewhat. So I don't think that would be the end of the world if he was to do that. And if Thiago's fit, I think it's a no-brainer that that Thiago goes there. Is it too much of a bigger game for Thiago to come back in? Probably. I probably rather see Thiago on the bench and come on towards the end or come in midway. Throw him in. He's been out for a long time. To throw him in a game of this magnitude, and then I think it would be a bit suicidal personally. So yeah, I will leave you with the team that I kind of want to see. I still want to see Endo in there with a full strength side around him. Most definitely. And And then I can really kind of give my opinion on Endo. I need to see 90 minutes with a full strength team around him. That would be my full strength team if I'm playing Endo. At the moment, Trent or Bajetic again. I'm putting it out there. I'm gonna go for Bajetic. I'm gonna put Trent on the bench. But I'm gonna go for Bajetic in there. The only thing is though, if Trent's fit enough to start, then I don't get why he would start Bajetic in the right back. He started him there this game, the last game against Lask, and that tells me something. That tells me that Trent ain't gonna be ready to come straight back in, or he's not ready. What's that hamstring strain? Injury. Hamstring is like 4 weeks. What's he done? 3? Or this is his 4th week? Maybe this game. Maybe this game. And then Trent's back next game. I'd have to check out training videos and whatever, see if he's been training or anything. I don't know if he's been training or anything. But I'm going to call it. I'm going to go with Trent still injured on the bench. I'm going to call Bajetic to play right back. Endo. I don't think Endo's going to play there, but I want him to play there. I think McAllister's going to play there, and then I think McAllister will play there, and I think Jones is going to be there, like that. That's what I think the team might be. But I would like the team to be as you see it now. That's what I'd like the team to be. Obviously, I wouldn't like Trent to be... Obviously, I'd like Trent to be fit over Bajetic, of course. Yeah, but if he's not fit, that's probably... I mean, I wouldn't even like to see Bajetic there. I'd rather see Gomez there than Bajetic. But Bajetic does the inside... You know, he does the inside midfield thing like Trent does, which is something Klopp likes. Helps dominate the possession and stuff. You know what's crazy though is that like I would have thought that we would try and do the inside fullback thing on both sides, like Robertson. I know Robertson isn't that kind of player and he probably can't do it. But then I just think if you have the player to do the inside right, then do it. If he's not available, then you don't use the tactic. Don't try and make someone that can't do it, do it. You know? I don't know. It's a bit weird. So what I'm saying is basically just play Gomez at right back and just let him be a right back. Basic right back duties like Robertson is at left back. Just basic left back duties. Let them play like left and right backs. Have done with. Scrap the inside idea, right? Because you don't have a player that's capable of doing it. Don't force a player in that position at right back that can do the inside centre midfield job, but isn't strong as a right back, as a natural right back. It makes no sense. I think you have a privilege there with Trent because he's somewhat strong in a normal right back position. He has experience, obviously, of playing as a right back, but also he has the ability to play as that inside midfielder. So shit, fucking cars. So when he is playing, you have that tactic, you have that option. I think if he's not playing, just leave it as it is and just have your right back as your right back and your left back as your left back. Don't push it. But I feel like Klopp's got something cooking, and I feel like Bajetic is gonna surprise everybody. But yes, let's go on to the subs, because I think we're at, what is it, 9 or 10 on the bench? I've forgotten already. 9 or 10 on the bench. I know the Europa was fucking 12. Usually out 12. I can't remember if it was 10 or 9. I thought it was 8 before, but I think it's 9. I think I allowed 9 subs. Not 9 subs, 10, 5 subs, but you know, 9 or 10 players on the bench. So what we got here is 9. So Curtis Jones, we got Curtis Jones, Matip, Thiago. In fact, Thiago is injured for the moment. Tsimikas, Harvey, Jota, Klopp subs, and then obviously Nunes, And then Kwanzaa. Does Kwanzaa come onto the bench? Do we need 3 centre backs on the bench? Really? I don't know if we need 3 centre backs on the bench. And if it's 10, then obviously, if we are allowed 10 on the bench, I think it's 9, but if we're allowed 10, then they all make it, and then no one has to miss out. But when these 3 come back, if these 3 are back, let's just say none of these 3 are injured, right? Let's just say Gravenberch is good, Thiago is back fit, and Trent is past as fit, and all of those are kind of fighting for the bench. Let's just say who misses out? Who misses out? I don't know. Definitely think Ben Doak misses out because Salah will just play a full game, so he misses out, so he'll be dropped from the squad. Tsimikas will be there. We've got 4 defenders on the bench. One of these has got to miss out. Kwanzaa, Matip, or Gomez is definitely going to miss out. Gomez can fill in that right back. See, Gomez might play instead of Bajetic, but I just got a weird feeling Bajetic plays. Got a weird feeling Bajetic is going to play there. Just do. Why would you try it? Unless he's just giving Bajetic game time in that position and getting him on the pitch, then I don't know why else he plays there. I think it's really suspicious. I feel like Klopp's trying something out, like I said before. But who drops off the bench? Because Trent is going to come on. Trent is going to come onto the bench for somebody. And Thiago, if Thiago is fit, he comes onto the bench for somebody. So who drops out the bench? Who drops off? Ain't going to be Curtis Jones. Ain't going to be the goalkeeper. Ain't going to be Gomez. The other thing is, if Bajetic starts here and it doesn't go to plan, he needs to make a substitution. So the substitution is going to have to be Gomez. So Gomez has to be on the bench. Matip is going to be there in case one of the centre-backs get injured. And then Tsimikas is going to be there in case Robbo gets injured. So Kwanzaa, it's going to be Kwanzaa, Matip, or Gomez. One of them is missing out. And I think in a game like this, with somebody, I just think Matip is probably with Antonio up front and just the way West Ham playing behind. I just got a funny feeling that Matip is probably going to be the safer option. So I'm going to get rid of Kwanzaa, which is a shame. It'd be really interesting to see what Klopp goes with. But I got a feeling it's going to be Kwanzaa, and then. Like I said before, if Trent's on the bench, Trent's going to start. And that means there'll be no Bajetic. So, if I still think Trent's injured, which I do, then I'm going to say, let's just say Thiago makes the bench. Which isn't, it's not, that can be a thing, that can happen. So that's 9. And then if Gravenberch is fit again, because we saw Kwanzaa go off in the last game before Lask, but he was on the bench for this game, for the last game, so maybe he's alright to feature on Sunday still, enough time, so maybe he'll make the bench. So who does Gravenberch replace on the bench? Who does Gravenberch replace on the bench? Ugh. This is tough. Jota, Gakpo, Nunes. I honestly don't know. It's difficult. Let me just quickly check something. I just want to see something quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, you're now 9 subs. 5 subs, but 9 players on the bench. So we got 9 here. So yeah, it's not 10. So I can't even put. So if Gravenberch and Trent is fit, then it's going to be really techie for our bench with Kwanzaa and Doak already missing out. The squad is mad. Title challenge, man. Title challenge. If our first team can get playing to the level that I want them to see them playing at and balling and scoring goals, we are in for a title challenge. We are seriously in for a title challenge. It's insane. But I don't know. I don't know who drops out for Gravenberch. Curtis Jones? Remember, Gravenberch is probably going to play the 6 as well, because that's where he played against Lask. His first game, he's going to play in his position, his proper position. And he was playing in the 6. And he ain't going to start instead of Sabozalai. Sabozalai's starting. So Gravenberch ain't coming in and starting over Sabozalai. He's not starting over McAllister. So the only place, if he's fit, is going to come in for Endo or whoever. Or he's going to be on the bench. Bajetic. So let's just say Bajetic. Let's just say Bajetic is dropped from the squad, right? Let's just say Trent is fit. All right. Bajetic, does Bajetic even get onto the squad? Get onto the bench? Who have we got on the bench? Centre midfielder. Maybe instead of Thiago, if Thiago is not fit, Bajetic, goes in there. Harvey Elliott, could he be dropped from the squad? No, I think Harvey is quite crucial. He's kind of like the player that plays in that position if Sabozalai isn't fit. And he also plays further up on the wing if Doak isn't in the squad or Salah comes off. So Harvey's pivotal. Tsimikas is always on the bench. He's a Robertson replacement. Bajetic can play in the DM or left side of the 3. Like McAllister, similar role to McAllister. So he's kind of a McAllister understudy, you could say, arguably. And an Endo understudy as well. Even though he's probably, don't know if he's as good as Endo. But Bajetic does need to find some form. Nunez, striker, Diaz replacement or Gakpo replacement. And predominantly Jota. Jota could be the one that misses out, but he can cover for Diaz or cover for Gakpo, really. Gomez is going to do the right back job and possibly right centre back. If there's any issues there. Matip will do the left back, left centre back. Mind you, well, Kwanzaa's not in the squad, but he can do left centre back. Matip, yeah, we've just done him. Jones can also do probably just the McAllister role. So I'm looking at these players on the bench and I'm thinking, which ones cover more roles? The ones that cover more positions and more roles are less likely to be dropped off the bench. So Curtis Jones can only really do one role. Matip can only do one role. Bajetic played that. He played at right back, didn't he? Tsimikas, one role. But I know Tsimikas isn't going to get dropped. He's not going to go anywhere. Because he's always there. Harvey, more than one role. Jota's a possibility to be dropped. Jota is a possibility to be dropped. You really got Gakpo, you got Nunez. Nunez won't be dropped. I feel like Jota is more likely to be dropped than Nunez. It's tough. I don't know, guys. This is really, really difficult. If Gravenberch is fit, who? One of these gotta be. He's a defender. Has to be midfielder, right? Has to be midfielder that gets dropped, surely. If Gravenberch is to come in, has to be a midfielder. So let's just say it's that. Let's just say it's that, right? Now, would you have Bajetic over Curtis Jones, or would you have Curtis Jones over Bajetic? I think I'd have Curtis Jones over Bajetic, just because I think he's more experienced. I don't think his bar is higher. I don't think his ceiling is higher, sorry. And would I have Thiago over Jones? Yeah, I would. So if all the players are fit, I feel like that is kind of the bench. And those players miss out, which is huge. I mean, you say huge, but I say huge, but at the end of the day, like they're all academy players, aren't they? They've come through the academy. Doak, Kwanzaa, Bajetic, and you know, they're all academy players. It's come through the academy. So, and what we have on the bench, the left side doesn't make our bench stronger if we add them. I don't think so. You might, and if you do, drop a message and let me know where I've gone wrong or where I've effed up. But I don't think anybody in this row here makes this bench stronger. I think if I had to choose, it'd be something like that. Taking all the positions and cover into. You might argue your drop Endo. You might argue your drop Endo out. Some of you might not rate Endo, and you'll do that, and then you'll bring him in there, and then you drop Endo out the squad. Some of you would be like, "Yo, that makes more sense to you guys." I personally don't think it. I don't think so. I don't think Curtis Jones is a better player than Endo. I don't think he is. I think Endo is just about bedding in and getting used to it, and the language. So he needs to settle in, and get used to the speed and stuff like that in the Premier League. But some of you might say that, and that's fair. I'm not going to argue with it. But then I don't think Curtis should start over someone like Thiago. I think, and maybe you guys would agree with this, and maybe some of you would prefer Jones to start. But if that's the case, I feel like it should be like that, personally. I think Jones is on a par with Endo. I don't think either is better than one another. But if I have to start, if I have my starting lineup that's probably my strongest starting lineup. If I've got to start Liverpool team, I'll maybe do this. I personally don't like traditional DMs either. But at the moment, I think that's probably the most organized team that could probably dominate possession that I'd put out. In the future, 6 months down the line, maybe 12 months, a year's time, maybe that could be the one. We'll just have to see. But yeah, guys, I think that's a wrap up for this. So yeah, if you got any opinions, any thoughts, just drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Anyone taking the time to listen to this or hear me out, I appreciate it. Keep an eye out for these. Yeah, as I said in some of my other videos, I'm just here, just kind of just putting my opinion out there. I enjoy doing all these little things with these little characters and stuff and moving them around and trying to get things right and trying to see how Klopp's mind works sometimes on the full pitch. Obviously, you'll never get it right because he's just hell of a man, hell of a manager. We're lucky to have him. But yeah, it's just it's just downtime for me. So relaxed time is like what I like to talk about football in my own time, my free time. I play football as well. And I'm playing this Saturday, tomorrow. So that's why I'm doing this now. Plus, it gives it a little bit of time to get out into the YouTube algorithm. As I've always said before, is that I used to have a lot of friends in and around Liverpool scene, and we used to go to matches and stuff a lot back in the day. But don't really see much of them now. So I'm trying to just kind of build a little something, build a little bit of a community here. Ain't gonna be massive, it's just a fun thing to do for me, really, my free time. But yes, I will leave it there. Like I said, just drop a comment, or if you like, thumbs up or whatever. It's no big deal. Take it easy. I've been Remiss MC Ninja, and have a good day. Take it easy. You never walk alone. Let's get this. Laters.